Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're going to be talking about this incredible early access space game known as Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Now, what is this game about? You're going to find out in this video, so stay tuned and welcome to What the Math. So, how do we define this game? We can't. It's actually very unique, very original, but it does have a lot of elements combined into one very unusually interesting space game. I'm going to actually jump into one of the new games here just to show you what it's so like. So this is still in early access and it's been in early access for about a year now, in 2017. It came out in, I believe, April of 2016. And back then it didn't really have really good reviews, but it's improved quite a lot since. There's three choices here. This one here has a tutorial. This one is just a free roaming simulation, which I'm going to show you right now. And the last choice basically gave you a bigger ship. You start with a bigger ship, a little bit more money, and a little bit more weapons, but you know, it's not fun. So anyway, let's create our character. There's quite a lot of face choices here, but they all look kind of nerdy. But we're gonna choose just something. Let's just go with this guy. You also get to choose your feats, various perks that will give you a bit of an advantage in battle, and you also get to choose the kind of a ship you start with. So let's choose something really cool looking. Like that one looks pretty awesome. This is called Shanghai. It's a gunship from Trinity Free States. And so here we are. There's our little ship, although it's actually quite a big ship. And you basically start right away in space by some planet, and there is a station right next to you that you can actually dock to. Now, let me just go through some of the things you'll be doing in this game. First of all, there is a very important map here, which turns this game into a really interesting real-time strategy. So everything on the map here can be accessed by clicking on it. You can also call your forces and your various fleets by right-clicking on certain destinations. I'm not going to do this in a second, but also you can actually build things. You can construct things in this game, which makes it very unique. So there's various collectors here. There's things like wormholes, and there's civilian tasks that you can assign your fleets to. But most importantly, there is shipyards, there is construction relays, but most importantly, you can actually construct things like tactical ops, hangar modules, mining operations, salvage depot, and research and development. So there's actually research, there's ship construction in this game, and you can essentially turn this into a real-time strategy without ever leaving your base. You can basically manipulate your fleet directly from the map and ignore this element, which is actually kind of the fun element, but you can totally ignore it if you wanted it to. There's also missions in this game, there's trading in this game, there's a lot of really cool stuff, and you basically also collide with things, of course. But let's go dock here and let's see what the actual station looks like. So, just like in many other space games, there's missions you can accept by going into job board. Let's actually just do this for fun. I'll show you how the battles work. This is search and destroy mission. You also have trader in here where you can, you know, sell high and buy low, and this is by going into trader here. So everything you collect can be sold to this trader, or you can just turn into a trader yourself by buying resources low here and selling them high somewhere else. There's known prices here that shows you once you actually discover more planets, you can actually turn this completely into a trading simulation. The other thing that this game has is the other common elements here are, of course, shipyards, where you can actually buy ships that are slightly better than your current ship, and you can also upgrade your ship by going to dry dock and either enhance your current weapons, so I can actually upgrade my weapons directly, upgrade your systems directly, put new equipment into your ship, so there's a lot of advanced stuff here. But the unique elements are right here, so shipbuilding and construction. It's kind of reminiscent of games like the X series back in the days, where you can actually construct various bases and also turn that game into a strategy game as well. But what's different about this particular title is that it's a little bit more sandbox. It's actually a little bit more strategic. So here, we're gonna go and build a ship in a few minutes. But first, we need to go and complete that mission. So I'm going to jump into the location where my first mission is, and it's going to be automatic. And the way you control your ship is either directly with a gamepad and mouse and keyboard, or you can actually just assign commands to your ship without really doing anything. So I'll show you both ways in a second. So if I press spacebar, I can actually start controlling my ship with the mouse button and fire using the right mouse button. If, however, I click on this destination and then use my right mouse button, there's a context menu here that allows me to control things just by clicking on them directly. And so this way, there's basically several ways to play this game. You can either have direct control of everything, or you can just use menus similar to games like EVE Online, where you can just assign certain commands to your ship and your fleet, and then they'll basically do it. So let's go to this location and complete this mission, and you get to see how battles work in this game as well. So for battles, you need to know several things. First of all there's this right here that basically distributes your energy to shields, weapons, and engine. You can also change your view, and basically here you have either turret view, view from behind like right now, or first-person view. There's also anomalies, which you can scan and discover new things, so that's a pretty cool way of discovering new research opportunities. But we're just going to start with this mission where we have to discover this particular vessel that's hiding somewhere in the region. And we have to pass by this anomaly possibly a few more times, but we basically are going to fly to these different destinations until we discover the enemy. And while we're looking for this particular enemy, let me just tell you about some of the special skills here. So we have basic repair drones. This is basically a healing skill. There's also damage amplifier, which boosts your damage for your ship for about 10 seconds. There is a torpedo. There is also the Scavenger Swarm, which allows you to scavenge various items around space and collect them. There's also ram, which basically literally rams your ship against another ship and causes tremendous damage both to you and also them. And there's a gravity pull, which pulls you closer to enemies. So these skills can be also changed, upgraded. There's a very, very diverse RPG subset to this game, and you can actually access it by going into your skills and perks right here. So there's quite a lot of various skills you can uncover and upgrade, and a lot of various perks you can also acquire. So this game is ridiculously complex, and it combines a lot of various elements really, really well. The RPG elements here are pretty fun. The strategy elements are pretty fun as well. And okay, so let's hail the target, and let's just attack them right away, because why not? We're going to use the context menu first. So we're going to mark the target. Target is called ISIS. We're going to fire at will, and they're actually launching torpedoes at us right away. And so here I'm going to use some of the manual controls just to show you that this game is actually kind of fun. It's kind of difficult actually. I'm going to transfer more energy to shields and weapons, and we're going to try not to die basically. So this is manual control. And now let's do this automatically. So we're going to grapple the ship. We're going to now fire at will. And now I can just relax and wait for them to get destroyed. So that's another way of doing this. I can also actually send my troops to them and try to capture their ship passively. So you can actually deploy troops to their ship, just like in Star Trek, and then try to either pillage them or try to capture them. So we're going to try to capture them by basically flying around them for a few minutes or for a few seconds and see if we can possibly completely disable their ship, or at least get close to capturing them. So there's actually going to be an opportunity to capture this once we reach the command center, which is going to be right around now. And we can even disable their weapons if we wanted to, but we're just going to keep going, and let's see if there's going to be an opportunity for us to actually... There we go, 37%. Maybe, just maybe we'll capture them. And no, we failed. Okay, well that means that we have to just destroy them. And that's done. It wasn't very difficult. So we got some experience, we got some money, and we can also collect some of the loot here. We collected some illegal commodities that we can now go and sell on our base. So that's basically the nutshell of this game, but it does get ridiculously more complex. And let me just show you how the fleet works and also how some of the other concepts work here. So let's go into shipbuilding and build another ship for ourselves. I'm going to edit to queue. It's going to construct in real time. And we might actually be able to also construct some other building here that I might be able to build. Okay, not enough resources for everything. This is a game I started maybe a couple of hours ago, just started to discover this game, play around, see how things work, and honestly, I'm really impressed with what we have here so far. And while I'm waiting for that ship to finish building, let me just briefly talk about some of the other aspects that are both positive, but also a little bit negative about this game. So first of all, this actually has been compared to Mount and Blade in space, which I'm not sure how exactly people got this comparison, but I guess the idea is that you have a ship and you can build a fleet, and it's very sandboxy, and there's total freedom to do whatever you want. You can basically go everywhere you want. So in that sense, yes, there is a bit of Mount and Blade element to it, but it is definitely a very unique game that's unlike anything else I've played so far. The negatives here are that one is that it does get a little bit monotonous, a little bit repetitive, and at some point, you might need to take a break, because, I mean, all you're doing is just building up your base, trying to take over enemy territory by essentially capturing these various hexagons, and you're trying to expand your own base, but there is very little storyline here. As a matter of fact, there's practically no story. It's very sandboxy, it's very open-handed, and has no linearity at all, but in that sense, because there is no storyline, you might actually kind of get a little bit annoyed with it. On the other hand, for people that actually enjoy having no linear gameplay, this is a perfect sort of example of a space game that you need to try. You basically are controlling your own base, you basically are controlling your own ship, and you're controlling everything in the game, and every single thing that you do affects the rest of the universe here, or literal universe, I guess. This is how big the map actually is, and your goal is to essentially, you know, take over as much as you can. You have a lot of other features here, like, for example, except for the actual ore, gas, and material collection, you also have these civilian fleets that you can send on various mini missions. Now, I don't know if there's any mini missions for them right now, but yeah, here's one. Basically, I can send my fleet here. That will give me a little bit of a reward, but then it will also have a slight chance of me losing them. So this is sort of an automatic mission that allows me to send these fleets to complete these various side quests that I don't have to worry too much about, and I can do up to 5 of them because of the way, because of my level, essentially. All right, so let's actually grab those 2 ships. We're going to have both of them follow us around, and we're going to do this by essentially just assigning follow me command to both of them. So now we have a mini fleet, 2 ships behind us. You can kind of see them on the map as yellow dots, and of course us in the middle. And now that we actually have those 2 ships following us, let's try to complete a slightly more difficult mission. I decided not to do that escort mission, and instead I'll show you a slightly more difficult search and destroy, where the ship will be significantly more powerful. But yeah, basically the idea here is that this is the game in a nutshell. You'll be completing these missions, you'll be flying around the map, you'll be constructing various things around the map, which I still can't do because we're missing a bit of materials, but we'll get them really soon. And lastly, you'll be trying to capture territories from the enemy, which we'll try to do at the end of this video, which, you know, might not actually work because we're not that powerful just yet. But we do have at least 2 ships helping us. Alright, so here we go. Here comes the battle with a slightly more powerful ship. You can kind of see that they definitely have much more powerful weapons than us. And we do need to be a little bit more careful. But I also need to try to align myself with them because I'm having trouble locating them. Here you go. So we're going to grapple them again, and let's just fire at will. And so basically this is how cactic this game can get. Right now I'm trying to manage my front shield, which is about to lose its efficiency because these guys are a lot more powerful than me. And I'm also trying to both manage my team on their ship while depleting their shields, which is not really working very well. And oh wow, that's gonna fail for sure. And at the same time, oh wow, I did capture them. Awesome. That was the first time ever that I was able to succeed with 12% success rate. Okay, so we can salvage for parts, get a lot of materials, or we can turn them into our own ship. This means that we'll have to spend some more credits to repair the ship. We can also sell their ship completely, get this much credits. Or we can research their hull if we actually had a research center, which we don't just yet. Or finally, we can actually turn them into one of our ships that follows us around. I think I'm going to make them follow me around. So now they're going to be with us. And there you go. This is our 3rd ship in our fleet. the Reich, level 7 ship. This is pretty awesome. Anyway, so this is essentially how you'll be playing this game. And well, before we finish this game, let's actually see if we can maybe go into the enemy territory and engage one of their fleets as well, and possibly even capture something. I don't know if I'll be able to capture with this tiny ship, but we might be able to get somewhere, at least destroy a few ships and then escape. So this is going to be our last mission. It's not really a mission, I'm just creating my own sort of sandboxy mission, where I want to see if I can capture this hexagon. We might do it or we might not, we'll see in a few seconds. And essentially, you know, this is the game in a nutshell. So there's obviously a few other negatives, like for example, the graphics are maybe a little bit too outdated, the sound effects and the music can get a little bit repetitive if you play this for a few hours. But all in all, for an indie game and for a game at the price that they're asking for it, it's actually really, really good. This is definitely one of the most exciting space games, space sandbox games that I've played in a while. And it's definitely a game that I would, you know, wholeheartedly recommend that you get. Okay, here we go. Here comes the enemy. We're gonna maybe decrease this a little bit. And let's see if we can... Okay, so this shows you the actual balance of power. And right now we're definitely way below the power. So we need to destroy quite a lot of things before we can actually get anywhere. Let's see if we can focus on the... you can see my companions already attacking them, but we can try to focus on getting at least one of them down. Wow, they're level 10 and 24. That is not cool. That is not cool. They already killed one of my guys. One of my guys is down. And it looks like I might actually go down as well. I need to start using a lot of different things like damage amplifiers. And yeah, that was really quick. They killed us even without trying. So as you can see, you need to be much higher level for you to actually try to capture those bases. But essentially, you know, that's how the game is. You need to advance in the levels, get better ships before you can start capturing various areas. And that's kind of like how I wanted to end this game. I wanted to just show you what happens when you die. You basically need to load the game and restart from scratch. Anyway, so that's Starpoint Gemini Warlords in a nutshell. Really cool game. Not for everyone, obviously, but for anyone who loves sandbox games and who loves space games, this is the game to get for sure. And anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Come back here tomorrow to learn something else, something that you may have not known before, and come back here next week to learn about another space game that you may want to try in the future. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you still haven't, and I'll see you tomorrow. Space out, and as always, bye-bye.